Before America had borders, before maps carried English names, before history was written by outsiders, the Cherokee Nation already existed as a powerful civilization. Hidden within the forests, rivers, and mountains of the Southeast lived a people who called themselves Anivia and the real people. Their world stretched across present-day Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, and Alabama, long before the word United States was ever spoken. Cherokee life was built on balance between humans and nature, between the physical and the spiritual, between community and individuality. Their towns were not random settlements. They were carefully organized communities with council houses at the center, homes arranged with purpose, and farmland nourished by generations of knowledge. Cornfields, bean vines, and squash plants grew together in harmony, a system known as the Three Sisters, feeding entire nations. Cherokee society valued wisdom over wealth and harmony over domination. Elders were living libraries. Children were raised through storytelling, and every lesson carried meaning. The land was not owned, it was respected. Rivers were sacred, mountains were teachers, and animals were equals in the circle of life. Long before Europeans arrived, the Cherokee had laws, diplomacy, trade networks, and a spiritual understanding of the universe that guided daily life. This was not a primitive society. It was a civilization deeply rooted in identity, tradition, and resilience. Cherokee society was advanced, structured, and deeply cultural. Families lived in wooden homes during summer and earth-covered homes during winter, designed to survive the seasons with intelligence and efficiency. Villages were led by councils, and leadership was based on wisdom, not force. Women held powerful roles within Cherokee life. They owned property, managed agriculture, and influenced political decisions. Clan systems defined identity, responsibility, and belonging, and each clan carried sacred duties passed down through generations. Cherokee spirituality shaped every part of life. They believed the universe was balanced between opposing forces, and harmony had to be maintained through ceremony, respect, and discipline. Rituals marked seasons, healing, war, and renewal. Medicine people used herbs and spiritual practices to heal both body and soul. Music, dance, and storytelling preserved history long before written language existed. The Cherokee language itself was rich and complex, carrying meanings that could not easily be translated. Every name, every story, every song carried memory. Children learned through example, not punishment. Community mattered more than individual gain. This culture survived not because it was isolated, but because it adapted while protecting its core values. For centuries, the Cherokee thrived as one of North America's most influential nations, respected by neighbors and feared by enemies, yet grounded in peace. When European settlers arrived, the Cherokee did not disappear. They adapted. Unlike many nations forced into isolation, the Cherokee engaged with the changing world while fighting to protect their identity. One of the most remarkable moments in their history came in 1821, when Sequoyah, a Cherokee silversmith, created a written syllabary for the Cherokee language. Within a few years, the Cherokee became one of the most literate societies in North America. Newspapers were printed in Cherokee and English. Laws were written. Schools were built. A constitution was formed. The Cherokee Nation adopted a system of government modeled after the United States, proving their ability to adapt without surrendering culture. Farms flourished. Trade expanded. Cherokee leaders traveled to Washington to defend their sovereignty through diplomacy instead of war. They believed survival depended on education, unity, and legal resistance. Yet adaptation did not mean acceptance. Despite their progress, their land was still desired. Gold discoveries and expanding settlements made Cherokee territory a target. No matter how advanced, how peaceful, or how cooperative they became, their existence stood in the way of American expansion, and history was about to turn against them. In the 1830s, the Cherokee faced one of the darkest chapters in American history. Despite winning legal battles in the U.S. Supreme Court, despite treaties recognizing their land, the Cherokee were forcibly removed under the Indian Removal Act. Soldiers arrived without mercy. Families were dragged from their homes. Crops were abandoned. Sacred land was lost overnight. Thousands of Cherokee men, women, children, and elders were forced to march west toward present-day Oklahoma in brutal conditions. This journey became known as the Trail of Tears, a name earned through suffering. Disease, starvation, exposure, and exhaustion claimed the lives of over 4,000 Cherokee, Mothers buried children along the road. Elders collapsed and were left behind. Songs turned into prayers. Hope turned into survival. This was not migration. It was ethnic cleansing. The removal shattered families, erased towns, and scarred generations. Yet even in this moment of devastation, the Cherokee did not lose their identity. They carried language in their voices, stories in their hearts, and memory in their footsteps. The land was stolen, but the people endured. The Cherokee Nation survived removal, trauma, and erasure attempts, and rebuilt itself from loss. In Indian Territory, they re-established schools, government, churches, and communities. Despite continued pressure, broken treaties, and cultural suppression, the Cherokee refused to disappear. Today, the Cherokee Nation is one of the largest and most influential Native nations in the United States. Their language is being revived. Their traditions are protected. Their history is being told by their own voices. Cherokee artists, leaders, veterans, educators, and activists continue to shape modern America. Their story is not just one of tragedy, it is a story of strength, intelligence, and resistance. The Cherokee Nation stands as proof that survival is not measured by land alone, but by identity, memory, and unity. Their history challenges the myth of discovery and forces the world to confront the cost of progress. The life of the Cherokee Nation is not a forgotten chapter. It is a living legacy, written in resilience, spoken through generations, and carried forward into the future.